Nathan is in Richmond, Virginia. Hi, Nathan. How can we help?
Hi, how are you doing?
Better than I deserve. What's going on?
Okay, so here's what I got going on. I'm 25 years old. I'm getting money from my father who recently passed away. It's going to be over $200,000. I'm not the best in money management. I've heard the saying, it takes money to make money. Should I invest this money into a business? Should I save this money? What should I do if I want to become a millionaire by the time I'm in my 30s?
How long ago did your dad pass away, Nathan?
He passed away a couple months ago.
I'm sorry. Y'all close?
We were pretty close. He had dementia and Alzheimer's, so I didn't see him too often because he was in a assisted living facility.
Sure.
And I lived across the country, so he was in Arizona with my sisters, and then I lived over here in Virginia.
Gotcha. So you're getting $200,000 cash?
It's not over that.
It is just over that?
Yeah, I'm not sure of the exact number.
But I mean, it's not on a piece of property or something else. It's a investments or cash that's going to come to you liquid that you're going to be able to do whatever you want to do with it. Yes,
like my brother's going to hand me a check.
Gotcha. Okay. And what do you make a year now?
So a year, I make around, I'd say $35,000 a year.
Okay. All right. So here's what I would tell you. You're calling very, very wisely to start to gather some wisdom about something you don't know anything about. You have never driven a car before, and someone just gave you car keys, right?
Correct.
And you go, well, I hear these things go fast.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, and yet if you remember the first time you got behind the wheel of a car, it was both freeing because you could now go places and control your own destiny, and it was terrifying. And if you don't have both of those feelings with this process, you're not wise.
Right.
Okay? So I'll start with, it takes money to make money is not a true statement. That's a statement that broke people say as an excuse to not become broke people. Can you make money using money? Sure. But actually, the vast majority of people who build wealth do not build it because someone handed them $200,000. They build it because of their habits and their character.
Okay.
So that's you. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to number one, I tell you to do is just slow way down. I would want you to move along the spectrum from exciting to boring over towards boring. Your job is to manage this money. Your job, as if it's someone else's money and you're managing it for them, your job first is not to lose it. Your job second is to maximize it. But most people, when they get handed the keys to the car, step on the gas. And meaning they think their job is to maximize it, and they end up losing it. So people that end up in your situation get money lose it very often because they make the mistake of they think it has to be exciting, it has to be sexy, it has to be wild, it has to be crazy, because if I don't maximize it, I'm doing something wrong. It takes money to make money, we all know that, and so I'm going to invest it over here, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this. Wrong. Slow down. Number one rule, Nathan, don't put money in something you don't understand. Don't put money in something someone else tells you is a good idea and they sound like they're really smart people. Around the money business, and I've been around it 40 years, there are a lot of enthusiastic ignoramuses. They mean well, but they're dumber than a rock. And they're excited about their stupidity. And they will put you in stuff. They'll put you in stuff, man. And all your broke friends also got an opinion already, don't they?
Yeah, and here's another piece, too. I started a meat company, but the thing about it, when I started this meat company, it's not my passion because I was so money hungry to where I let money kind of consume my mind of, I need to make money, I need to be this by the time I'm this age. Yeah. And I chased things that weren't my passion. And then I realized as I got into it, I'm like, shoot, I don't want to do this anymore.
Okay, so let's take a couple things. Number one, we can work on your career, and that would be a good use of a little of this money. If it got you into your passion, I'll hand off to Ken in a minute and let him work on that, okay? But then thing two, here's a rule. If you were to invest this money and not touch it in good growth stock mutual funds, and if it made 10% rate of return on average, in 7 years it would double. You would have 400. And you would be, what, 29 years old, right? No, how you said you're 25?
25, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you'd be 32 years old. In 7 more years, it would double again, and it'd be 800,000. And in 7 more years, it would double again, and it'd be $1.6 million. And that is a boring, never touch it investment program. You're probably not going to do exactly that, but I want a little of that in the formula here, my brother.
Okay.
Where you go have a life and you pretend you don't have this money and you let it grow and double and grow and double and grow and double. And so here, my last piece of instruction before Ken helps you on the career side is I want you to go to Dave Ramsey or to RamseySolutions.com and click on SmartVestor. Sit down with a SmartVestor Pro, and they will teach you about mutual funds, and then you can decide how much of this needs to go into your career changes and how much of it needs to go into mutual funds, and that just sit there and just double. So, Ken?
Yeah, real quick question here. Is the meat company that you started, is that what's getting you the $35,000 a year?
Yes.
All right, and so you don't want to do that. What do you want to do? I know you got some ideas or one clear idea. What is it that you really want to do?
So I really want to do fitness because even in the times when I was at my lowest, I always stuck to it.
Yep.
And it seems like it was like introduced to me,
Great.
at a young age. And
So
I
is
just fell in love with it.
that a fitness coach, trainer? Is that what we're talking about?
So I want to compete in shows, and I want to launch. I want to be able to get a following through the Instagram and be able to launch a business online and help people reach their fitness goals via online, because everything is online now.
Sure.
And also, even in person, but doing it online, it gives you that
Sure.
freedom to be able to travel and
All right,
still help
so
people out with their goals.
let me make sure I heard this right. You want to be a fitness competitor and then eventually develop some type of online and in-person training business. That's a two-parter. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm going to caution you on this. Being a fitness competitor is a whole different ballgame. We only can make money when we win. So if that's the first goal, you're going to need a day job. So you got to sit down and go, now what's the best strategy? Here's what I would challenge you to think through. You're clear on what you want to do. That's stage 1 of my 7 stages. Stage 2 is get qualified. So you need to answer the question, what is it that I need to do to get qualified to train people online? Now, online, there's no technical qualification. You just got to have good content that people say, all right, I'm going to watch this guy and I'm going to train the way he trains. But if you want to do it one-on-one, there's some qualification that you need. How much is that going to cost you? How long is that going to take? We're going to have a day job still in all of this process. So if you got the meat company,
could be a personal trainer.
Could be a personal trainer is where I would go into. So get qualified to do that.
Get in the proximity.
That's it. Start doing that and then compete. And any money we make competing and the online business, it's going to grow over time. I would get in the field, work for a gym, and have somebody else pay you to do the training so that you can move from meat company into this job and not interrupt the income, because Dave, we don't want him to touch this $200,000.
Nathan, I want you to take $24,000 of the $200,000 and set it aside for a year's worth of $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
I want you to pay yourself out of a little savings account $2,000 each month for 1 year. During that year, I want you to develop a real group of one-on-one personal training clients that pay you well, and you use that money to eat with.
Yep.
Then you will also perfect your training techniques. Meanwhile, you get to work out like a crazy person for your own competition goals. And let's build a training business, then build an online business while we're competing. And I think that's an order and a way to get at this, and use a little bit of the money to do that. And let's invest the rest of it, and don't be spending a bunch of money on unproven business ideas or trying to buy a franchise and a business out of a box. You're not in a position to do that yet. You got to get some more notches in your belt.